Welcome to DES Trucks. In today's video, I want to talk about a controversial topic, and that is break in with a new truck. What are the rules, what are the procedures, and what does the manufacturer recommend? Now, this is going to be controversial. It's going to be a little bit different to some of the stuff that you've been seeing online, but this is what I've found, and comment below on the topic. So let's go ahead and jump in the truck and talk about break-in and look at what the manual says. Now, what's really nice about these new Super Duties is they stopped giving you the manual, I believe. I don't think there's any manuals in here. Let me cover this up. All this freaking sensitive stuff in here. So I don't believe they give you a manual anymore. There's no hard copy of the manual, which is maybe on the surface you're like, man, I want a manual. But the manual is now in the infotainment, and when you go in here, you can, well, it's already pulled up because I was pulling this up before, but I just want to show you how nice this works. You can go in here and you could type in what you're looking for. So we're looking for break-in. So instead of me flipping through the book, I can just type break-in right here, and then it says breaking in. So what in the manual does it say? Breaking in. Your vehicle requires a break-in period for the first 1,000 miles or 1,600 kilometers. Avoid driving at high speeds, heavy braking, aggressive shifting, or using your vehicle to tow. During this time, your vehicle may exhibit some unusual driving characteristics. So what's really interesting about this is there's nothing in here that says that you must change your oil after 1,000 miles or anything like that. So for me, whenever I used to go to the dealer with a new vehicle, I've had a lot of new vehicles if you follow the channel, I would always wait till like 1,000 miles or like 1,500 miles, and I would go into the dealer and I would change the oil. Hold on one second. Old lady's calling. All right, just got done talking to the old lady. So I know this is going to be controversial because on the Power Stroke Tech Talk podcast and all that, I think it was brought up to change your oil after 1,000 miles. Now, I don't necessarily disagree with changing your oil after the first 1,000 miles of driving a brand new truck. Like they're saying, you could flush out whatever could be left over from the machining process or anything like that. But do you have to? I do not believe, now correct me if I'm wrong, but I do not believe that you have to absolutely change your oil within the first 1,000 miles. I do think per the warranty and all that, you only are required to maintain the oil of the vehicle for the normal scheduled maintenance, whether it's the oil life monitoring or the mileage. Now, I'm kind of curious on the topic of the oil life monitoring. For the purpose of the warranty, would the oil life monitor be enough if you're driving, 10,000 miles? I think if you're maintaining the vehicle as it's required per the manual, I think you should be good in the warranty. But nowhere in the manual does it say that you have to change the oil within the first 1,000 miles or after 1,000 miles to flush anything out. Not saying that it's a bad thing to do. It's something that I've certainly done for a lot of vehicles. With my 7.3 that's in the shop right now, well, it's in my shop. It's not getting worked on. It's just in here. But with my 7.3, I figured I'd just pop in here real quick. This truck, first time in, I think this is probably going to be the first truck I bought. I didn't change the oil within the first 1,000 miles. I just did the normal maintenance and I did oil life monitor. And for the way that I use the truck, I got about 5,100 miles out of an oil change based on the oil life monitor. I'm one of those guys. I do trust the oil life monitor. So I got about 5,100 miles, and that was just abuse for the most part. I mean, we're talking well beyond max payload, some max towing, like really pushing the limits and I still got 5,000 miles. Now, for a lot of normal type of drivers, they'll probably get the 10,000. We did an oil analysis, and there was nothing wrong with the oil. It wasn't overused. So I'd be curious about what a light duty 10,000 mile oil change would look like. I just never do that with my trucks. Maybe with the 450 out there, it's still idling. I need to go turn it off. But with the 450, I haven't done anything with it yet. Per the manual, I've kind of been following that rule of don't tow for the first 1,000 miles. I don't know if I'm going to change the oil though. Like per Ford boss, good idea to change the oil, but it's going to cost me a couple $100 to change the oil on the 450. Now, with that being said, I think that I'm going to stick with like an OEM oil for at least the first oil change, just so the motor is more proven, more, in its groove. And it even says on like the real high-end oils, like on Hot Shot Secrets, not to use their really, really high-end oil too early in the process. So they're real good PAO, full synthetic. They don't want you running that until the engine's got some miles on it. But double check that. I can't remember exactly. I can't remember if it was their PAO or the even higher one that's got too much additive for the emissions. So it's only for like trucks with no emissions. They have so many different levels of oil. By the way, if you need any Hot Shot Secrets, discount code DS-trucks, all caps, and you'll get a good amount of percentage off of your Hot Shot Secrets. But for me, I don't know if I'm going to change the oil early with this truck just because of the cost. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. I'll probably talk to Ford Boss and all those guys again to see, what the best course of action would be. But per the manual, guys, I do not think you need to change the oil per the recommended what the manufacturer recommends in order to honor your warranty and any of that. So if you're conscientious about the cost and the expense, then don't do it. If the expense does not matter to you, I don't think it's a bad idea to change the oil. Now with these diesel trucks, with the Fords, I wouldn't go crazy high-end oil until the motor's got some miles on it. And I mean like PAO freaking high-end. Maybe I'll go to like a 540, or maybe I'll even like a 540 Motorcraft, or maybe a 1030 again, maybe 540 for heavy service. But I'm not gonna go crazy with it because I'm gonna stick to manufacturer oil for the first change, just in case if anything happens. I have receipts and everything. Maybe even go to the dealer and get one just to even have that receipt, so that the maintenance and everything doesn't show that I did anything out of the ordinary. Because I guess there is a little bit of a risk when you're changing to different types of oils. You're going to really high end oils, but they're not listed oils for Ford. Not saying that Ford would not honor anything, but you never really know. I do notice though a little bit of a performance gain when you go to those real high-end oils, like the Hot Shot Secrets PAO or the AMSOIL 5W40, anything like that. Notice a little bit of an improvement there. But anyway, guys, just a quick video today. Break-in. Your vehicle requires a break-in period for the first 1,000 miles. Avoid high speeds, which for me, depending on what you define as a high speed, I haven't driven this truck to the highest speed that it can go, which is probably like 88. But I've driven the truck at 80 miles an hour. Heavy braking. I don't think I've really done too heavy of a braking. I haven't had any emergency stops, so I would say I'm good in the heavy braking department. Aggressive shifting. I don't shift the truck, so it shifts automatically. So I think I'm okay. Or using your vehicle to tow. Haven't towed anything, so I'm good. During this time, your vehicle may exhibit some unusual driving characteristics. I haven't had any unusual driving characteristics at all. The truck's been driving perfect. It's kind of weird that they say that, like, hey, your truck's gonna drive unusually. That means there's something wrong, and your truck's got a couple bugs in it. So Ford's got a little blanket statement: your truck's gonna drive uncharacteristically. Well, a lot of these new trucks, the 10 speeds don't shift the best, so I guess that's what they're doing. That's what they're talking about. So a lot of times though, when they don't shift right, it'll start shifting better as the truck kind of goes about its lifespan a little longer. But anyway, guys, I want to wrap this video up. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Sean. This is DS Trucks. Do you need to change your oil per the manual? As far as I can tell right now, no. You just need to maintain it for its normal, right out of the gate. It's normal recommended. They want you to do some things for the first 1,000 miles, but it doesn't necessarily say to change the oil after the first 1,000 miles. It doesn't talk about the engine breaking in necessarily. It just talks about, you know, tires and stuff like that breaking in. So anyway, my name is Sean. This is DS Trucks. I gotta get to work. See you in the next video. Over and out.